Hello and welcome everybody back to another video up on my channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about the new meta bow build inside of Fallout 76. With the new update and everything that they have changed, the bow has gotten incredibly strong, hitting for 15 to 20,000 damage per shot. It has gotten such an amazing buff. But with all that being said, guys, let's get right into the video. So a couple things to start off the video talking about the bow. The bow is a super strong weapon for the main part that it can hit multiple targets with one shot. So as you can see, I'm hitting a bunch of targets all at once by just firing one shot. And I will go into detail about that. But it does not matter whether you have a compound bow, whether you have a regular bow, or a crossbow. This build works for all that kind of stuff. Also, you guys can see that I am bloodied, but this does not have to be a bloodied build. I just am using bloodied because you will get a little bit more damage out of it. So I'm trying to squeak as much damage as I can out of this build. So that is the main reason why I am bloodied. Again, you guys do not have to play as bloodied. But with the changes to explosive especially, the bow has gotten a big buff and is doing a lot more damage than it used to in previous versions of the game. So I strongly suggest, even if you guys aren't a bow player, to at least give it a shot because wow, it is one-shotting almost everything, even some bosses like the Mirelurk Queen. It is doing crazy damage to. So like I said, you guys will be able to see that it does a stupid amount of damage to the queen and really everything around it. And it cripples the enemies super easily and just leaves them with no health after a bit. You could see this guy was trying to sneak up on me, but with the certain perk cards, it will do damage to enemies around it even if I'm not vatsed onto them. So you guys will be able to see that it just does a lot of damage to surrounding enemies. And you can see what it does to a behemoth. It does a lot of damage, as you can see. And I'm even tanking a lot of its attacks as well. So you don't have to worry about not dying often with this build as well, guys. Because the damage resistance is a lot as well, just on top of it. But with that being said, guys, let's talk about the perk cards now, the main point of the bow. So now on to the perk cards. First off, the special points. These are the points that we have and where they all go. And now for the perk cards themselves. These are the perk cards and the build that I will be using inside the video. This I have tested out, has done a lot of damage. You may be able to swap some of these cards out like Bandolier for something else if you guys do not want to run the nice perk cards, the weight perk cards I would call them. But these are also the legendaries that we will have. You can see we are going to be more of a sneak build while running around, which is going to help us do an immense amount of damage, guys. But like I said, it will be a bloodied build, so we do have Nerd Rage and Serendipity and stuff like that. But you could take out these perk cards to make it a full health. You just may lose out on a bit of damage. The main focus inside the build is perception. This is what we're going to be helping us do a lot of damage. Like Hat Trick. I have found that Hat Trick 2-star has worked immensely compared to 3 and 1 because it will do it 2 additional targets, meaning that it will hit 2 targets on top of the one that you're hitting. So it will hit a total of 3 different targets at once. If you want, you can change this for Hat Trick 3, which will make it so it does 3 additional targets. I just feel that I'm never around targets that are more than 4. So like you get the main target and then the additional 3. So that's why I have it at 2. But along with that we have DLCR, Master Archer, and Bow Before Me. Those are going to help us do a lot alongside with Ninja. Bow's throwing and melee weapons do 100% sneak attack damage. That is going to help us immensely with our sneak attacks, along with follow through legendary perk card. But with that said, guys, now let me show you the different bows and crossbows we have for the video. So the first bow I will be discussing is the compound bow. This is probably the best option of them all because it will do the most damage. But it is a little tricky to get your hands on. I will go into depth later, but you do have to complete a certain quest line to get this bow. But we are going to want Furious, Vital, Lucky Hit, and Pinpointers with no sight and the explosive arrows. I have found the explosive arrows with the new update with explosive has worked the best. I know there is cryo and plasma, but like I said, explosive has been the best case scenario for me. And then you can see on our crossbow, it is the exact same Furious, Vital, Lucky Hit, and Pinpointers with the explosive arrows. Again, this is an amazing option as well. And this also is a great one for the regular bow too. It just will not do as much damage as the compound bow. But for what I use inside of the raids on the gas stage to defend, I run with the Furious, Explosive, VATS Optimize, and the Electrify, which will give a electro field around that will stun a bunch of enemies. This is a very useful one if you guys are the ones to defend the drill inside the raids. Use this if you are running the raids. Also, you are not able to use the bow or the compound bow with power armor. So if you guys run around with power armor, you guys are going to have to use the crossbow. You can use the crossbow whether you are in power armor or not, but just so you guys know, if you are somebody who likes to run around inside of power armor, to make sure to use the crossbow. But with that being said, guys, let's get on and talk about the armor that I will be using. So the armor that I will be using is the Brotherhood of Steel Recon armor. This is not necessarily the ones that you guys have to use. You can use Civil Engineer or Secret Service or whatever. This is just what I am going to be using. What really matters is this down here, the legendary mods. So I will have Unyielding, Agility, Active, and Rangers, along with Buttressed and Ultra Light build. The reason you guys are going to want Unyielding and Agility is because it's going to buff your special stats, meaning that you will have more strength, perception, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. Along with agility, 2-star, it will just mean you have an additional amount of AP. So you should never have to run out of VATS or never have to worry about running out of VATS. Along with that, we have Active for, again, more AP, and Rangers for the flat boost to your damage. This is super nice as well. That boost to your damage does an immense amount, so I suggest everybody having Rangers on. Again, if you guys are not a low health build, you can always have Overeaters instead of Unyielding as well. Also, if you guys want, you can use Powered. I just personally like Agility more because I can take Rad Hog, Burnt Ends for my AP regen. But speaking of the food buffs, let's talk about the food buffs next. So for the food buffs, it is going to vary whether you are a carnivore or herbivore. But let's first start off by talking about the carnivore food buffs. Really, you're going to want anything that has to do with AP or AP regen with this build. So like the cooked soft shell meat is great for the 50 max AP for 30 minutes, along with anything fried on a stick like rad roach or scorpion or squirrel. That will give you a 7.5 agility bonus, which is going to help you get a more AP as well. And then for our AP regen, if you are a carnivore, you are going to want to use Rad Hog Burnt Ends instead of Company T. This will give you 25% AP regen for an hour, unlike Company T, which only will give 5%. So use this if you are a carnivore, guys. So now let me show you guys what you should use if you are a herbivore for this build. The first one is Blight Soup for the 30 minutes of extra crit damage. This is such a must for any build inside of Fallout as a herbivore. Crit damage is so important, and the fact that herbivores can get this so easily with just this is just, it's a must to use. Along with anything that helps your guys' AP as well, herbivore is also very much so needed. So course seed juice for the max AP is very nice. Another one is infused soot flower tea for another max AP increase. Mute fruit juice for the agility. And really anything like steeped fever blossom tea or just company tea for your AP regen is super useful. If you guys don't know how to get company tea, you can get that for gold bullion at one of the gold bullion vendors. But those are the food buffs that I suggest using if you are a herbivore or carnivore. By using these, they should make your life a lot easier and help you do more damage and have more AP. Now for the damage buffs, you guys are going to want to use Overdrive for the 15% damage and 30% crit damage for 3 minutes. This is an amazing one to use for just damage and crit damage overall. It will help you do an immense amount of more as well. But it is harder to obtain, so if you guys do not have as much of these, you can always use Psycho Buff. Psycho Buff is so nice to use just for the plus 25% damage, the strength, the endurance, and max health for 3 minutes. This is a very nice one, and it is very easy to come across inside the Rays or running around Appalachia. It is a lot easier to find. It is also a lot easier to craft as well, guys. So use this if you are a newer player and do not have as much materials to make Overdrive. And then lastly, the stuff that will help you is your mutations. So what I use is Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Carnivore, Eagle Eye, Egghead, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, Scaly Skin, and Speed Demon. Again, if you guys do not want to have these negated effects, you can always pop another one, and the effects will be gone for 1 hour, and then you will have to pop more on top of it. But with everything put together, this is what my specials look like. So I have 40 luck, 51 agility, 34 intelligence, 21 charisma, 23 endurance, perception is at 40, and strength is at 29. It is important that you always try to get to your luck to 40 to help you do the crits very often. You guys, there are other food buffs that you can take for luck, but there's also a very nice camp buff called the Luck Machine that you can get to just have a temporary 30-minute buff as well. That is what I use very often to get this up to 40. But along with that, 51 agility will just give me more AP. So if you can see in the bottom right, with this, without food buffs, I am at 787 AP. If I was to add some food buffs, as you can see now after I added the food buffs, I am at 912. And I can even get this higher determining on some of the camp buffs like the pinball machine and stuff like that that give me additional agility and AP. But just 912 AP means that you will not have to worry about running out of VATS or sprinting or anything like that. If you guys want to know how to find the plans and all of the mods for the bow, you can make your way over to Foundation or Creator and make your way inside of their respected places. Once you have made it inside of the place by just running up here, you can make your way to Sunny the Trader. And this robot will sell you all of the different plans for the bow, the compound bow, and everything like that. Please note that you do have to complete some quests to get access to the compound bow. You have to become an Enclave General, so that means you have to launch the nuke and kill the Scorchbeast Queen. If you have not done that yet, you will not be able to have access to the compound bow, but don't worry because you can just finish that and then come here and buy it. But with everything put together, you can see how much damage I actually do. I had a 10,000, another 10,000, a 6,000. It just does a stupid amount of damage when having everything put together. And you guys can actually get more if you have Black Eyed Susan tea or stuff like that on. I do not have the recipe for that, but if I did, I would definitely be running with that as well, guys. So if you do have that, definitely take advantage of it because it gives you just more damage around Appalachia and inside the raids. So as you can see with the queen full buffed, it is not able to stand any chance against me. The queen has a very high damage resistance, but still when you are full buffed, the queen just cannot handle the damage you output with this bow. So I've been running around with this build for about a day now, and I have found that it is so much fun to just run around Appalachia with this bow. They have definitely made the bows a lot stronger with the new patch notes and everything like that. You can see like it hits a bunch of different enemies all at once too, which is so satisfying, and I love what they have done with the bow buffs in the new update. But with that said, guys, I think that is where I'm going to end it off today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It has been a lot of fun running around with this bow and making this bow build. I would like to give a couple shout outs to the people in my Discord for helping me make this bow build. It has helped a lot when I have other eyes looking on different stuff like this. Along with the people in my Discord, I would like to give a big shout out to the people in my Twitch chat that were also helping me with this. I test a lot of my builds and make a lot of my builds on Twitch, so if you guys are ever interested, you can come check me out there. The link of that will be in the description. Or if you guys just want to see me work on a build or anything like that, you can always join the Discord and give me suggestions. I'm always open to suggestions and stuff like that, so you guys are more than welcome to hop in there and hang out too. The link for that is also in the description. But with all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you think I missed anything, please let me know down in the comments. And with all of that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody!